Welcome to another week of Team Prosperity Training. This week, we're going to continue on what we started last week and kind of get into some more advanced strategies. This is a weekly team training that occurs every Tuesday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And it's always recorded for you and your agents. As you're building your agency, you can point them to the YouTube channel, the Facebook group. We have these emailed out. So there's always a history of the team trainings that you can point them to, and it's on-demand training. They can learn about anything they want at any time. So remember, last week what we did is we started like an intro session to LinkedIn for business builders. We covered a number of different things, and just to recap that real quick, your clear profile headline is extremely important. Why is that? Because that's a communication tool. It's who you help and how. And your banner image, remember, everybody's visual these days. So a lot of what you do is going to be an image. So that banner image needs to be visually positioned for branding awareness. And once again, to reiterate the clear profile headline. And then as you guys are posting, you need a mix. And that mix is going to be authority, story, invite, post mix. And as you're direct messaging people for initial outreach, there's some etiquette that you need to follow and there's some framework that you need to follow. Once again, that's what we covered last week. So we focused on the foundational strategies, optimizing your profile, mastering basic messages, and posting consistently. LinkedIn algorithm is still growing, so they're going to reward you if you post, if you interact, if you provide engagement, those things. The algorithm hasn't reached scale like Facebook has, so they will still reward you. We talked a little bit about how a good post can stay on for weeks or even months on that platform. So today what we're going to do is we're going to leave that behind and we're going to go further into visibility, lead generation, and positioning yourself as a go-to authority. That's what you want to position yourself as, the person to go to, and then the solutions that you have that will help that person, no matter if it's a partner or a client. You want to position those as not a solution, but the solution. This is where LinkedIn turns into a high leverage lead machine. So that's what we're going to do today. Advanced LinkedIn strategies. We're going to learn how to amplify your presence and multiply your results on the platform. What are the roles of LinkedIn in our business? Well, it can provide you absolutely nothing, or it can provide you an incredible amount of value depending on how to use it, how much time, energy, resources you invest into it, how much you're willing to learn the platform and implement what you learn. There are three real key takeaways that we have and why LinkedIn worked for us. It's going to have like a trio effect. It's going to attract clients if you do it correctly. Why is that? Because it's a professional site. It's got a lot of high net worth earners on there, professional people expecting to talk business. So you have the ability to attract the clients that you want into your business. You also have the ability to use it to attract the partners that you want into the business. Think about a platform where you can go actively talk about business and use it as a lead magnet for clients and partners, all while establishing credibility. So those are the three things we do. We attract clients, we attract partners, and we establish our credibility and authority on the platform. So as people are looking for opportunities, as people are looking for solutions to their financial situation or help, you stand out. So let's break this down a little bit, because when you talk about the three key takeaways, when you attract clients, who are you attracting? Well, remember, when you are in your profile, it should be very clear who you're trying to attract. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, great. So who are you trying to attract? Is it homeowners? Is it professionals? Is it business owners with financial burdens or goals? Remember, you can straddle both the client acquisition, the partner acquisition, but you need to be, the more precise you are with the algorithm and platform, the easier it's going to be for LinkedIn to recognize what you're trying to do and help you out. So attract the right type of clients. Who is your client? It's going to be up to you. Who is your persona? Who are you going after? By now, if you've been in this for a while, you should have started developing those things, because it's going to make the business a lot easier for you. Then the second key thing that we do is attract partners. So these are agents, coaches, professionals, either looking to level up, take their business to the next level, add a second income stream, or possibly they might be entrepreneurs looking to make that bridge into maybe our industry because it's so lucrative, because it's so big. And if you have a model that will attract those type of people, depending on who your persona is, and attract top level talent into your organization, once again, LinkedIn can be an extremely powerful and valuable tool for you to use, but you got to use it correctly. And then the last is going to be all about the authority, credibility, brand awareness. We're establishing those things, and that comes through thought leadership. What's that going to do? It's going to build trust and attract inbound attention. Remember, there's nothing better than inbound attention, inbound leads, inbound marketing. When you have to manufacture everything on an outbound level, generating that interest, it's a lot harder to do. There's different ways that you can use LinkedIn. Everything that I'm teaching you last week as well as today can be done organically with no money out of pocket. Why is that? Because once again, Facebook reached scale. They're going to charge you for the real estate. LinkedIn is not quite there yet, so they're desperate because there's a lot of eyes on that platform, far less content. So let's move on to positioning yourself as a thought leader, because this is going to help with brand awareness, and this is going to help with the attraction of the people that you want coming into your business on the client and partner side. People are not going to follow agents. People aren't going to follow insurance agents. People aren't going to follow financial advisors, financial agents. What they're going to follow is authorities. And you guys should be recognizing that with the people that you follow. So let's become someone worth following. That means what you say, what you do, how your profile looks, all of these things. If you can build authority and be that authoritative position, our value proposition on the platform, LinkedIn is going to start to work for you in a big way, because they're going to reward you. All right, let's get into some tactics about really what to do on this platform. So you need to post original thoughts regularly and share your take on trends and debt, inflation, and financial wellness. That doesn't mean it can't start with some AI help, but be yourself. Be authentic to who you are. Put your personality in things. Post original stuff. Once again, the outlines and some of the content help can come from AI, but make it your own. And then use LinkedIn articles to deep dive on topics. How I help clients cancel payments, convert debt to wealth. Remember, if you have a good post and it stays on LinkedIn for weeks or even months, that's great. How long does an article stay on LinkedIn? Forever. And what is LinkedIn really good at? They're going to do SEO for your articles. So as people are looking for you, if you write decent articles and they're searching for topics or searching for you, that kind of stuff is going to come up. So once again, the platform, if you're willing to produce content that's worth anything, LinkedIn is going to reward you for that. And then also use the different things that are available to create different ways of posting. So you want to create and upload carousel slides, PDFs that teach a concept visually. People are more visual these days, so the image is going to mean something. When you create PDFs with pictures, all of these things are creating value propositions, creating value points. But once again, also creating brand awareness and authority for you and your brand. And then you need to take a few minutes every day or whenever you're on LinkedIn to leave some meaningful comments on some posts from influencers or prospects. Once again, AI can help you out with this. Make it your own, but go on. Who are your influencers? Who are people that you're following that are getting a lot of attention on LinkedIn? Leave meaningful comments that can drive traffic to your profile. If you set your profile up in the right way and get you network connections, it can get you lead generation possibly. And then tag people, not randomly. There's nothing worse than when I log into my LinkedIn, I've been tagged. I don't even know why. You tag people appropriately, not randomly, to build dialogue. So if you have something to say, someone to tag, do it. If there's no connection to them or what you're saying, don't do it. It's tacky. So this is an example of an authoritative post. Did you know you can cancel interest without refinancing or consolidating? One of the ones I use also is, what if interest rates didn't matter? It's how we're helping families convert debt to wealth with zero risk. Here's a breakdown of how it works in 3 steps, carousel attached. That's it, guys. You got to learn how to create content that's worthwhile, that's educational, informational, entertaining, that creates a little bit of brand awareness, exposes your personality. People are going to be driven to you before they're ever driven and buying into what you're selling. Let's move now to advanced content calendar strategy. Once again, if you spend a little time on a weekend setting up, posts for the next number of weeks in terms of an outline and then some of the content, actual language, it's a lot easier than just sitting down on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, staring at your screen and wondering, what do I post? Remember, half of winning is preparation and planning. So if you do that, it's going to be far easier to stay on course, stay on track, and get the stuff done. All of this stuff is consistent and repetitive to do the things that we want to do, which is bring people into your network, build brand awareness, and then at the right point, at the right time, and for the right people, bring them in for lead generation. Let's work smarter, not harder. Here's a proven content cadence to follow. When you're looking at what to do, I like to use the 3-2-1 weekly posting formula. Now, if you haven't been on LinkedIn at all, that you're brand new, you might want to build up to this. But if you've been on a while and you've got some network this stuff can go out to you, the 3-2-1 works out very well. It's easy to remember as well, right? 3-2-1. Three authoritative posts. This is teach, show results, share strategies. Three of those, two community posts, behind the scenes, life, team, shout outs, and then one promotional invite, discovery call, webinar, or free resources. So altogether, this is 6. And how many of those is a promotional? 1 out of 6. So you need to get out there and not only do the authoritative post, the authority post, but you also need to, and this is one of the hardest things for a lot of people, including myself, is just give a little bit of insight into your life, what goes on, how you're running your team, how you're building your business. People are actually interested in getting to know you. Here's a bonus for you. If you use AI or schedule tools like Buffer or the creator mode, you can stay on schedule, stay on track, get the stuff posted. Like I said, a lot of the consistency will come just from preparation. And the best posting times, if you post something at a time when nobody's on LinkedIn, how do you think the engagement's going to be? What do you think the algorithm's going to look at that? Well, nobody's caring about it. Nobody's looking at it, right? So they're going to send it off in a corner somewhere. So if you post on the best posting times, your chances of getting the engagement, getting seen, and having the algorithm reward you is a lot better. So best posting times, typical work days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 to 11, or 4 to 6. Typically the times that people are ramping up at work or just getting in or just getting off or just winding down the workday. They're probably looking at LinkedIn, checking in, checking out of the workplace or the work schedule for the day. So that's the best times to post in the meat of the week, and then kind of like the bookends, 9 to 11 and 4 to 6. Outside those times, you're posting real early in the morning, late at night. You want to wait. Don't post at those times. All right, let's talk about enhanced outreach and messaging, because once you connect with people and once you have a profile that speaks about what you do, who you help, how, and you have everything that backs that up for brand awareness, authority, now you have to get into one of the key things that's going to drive lead generation, which is outreach and messaging. Your DMs are your digital handshake. Most people mess this up. Here's how to message with intention. So if we're going to, and once again, there are automated programs that will help you with this, or once again, if you're filling out a framework or following a framework of what to do and what to send, it's going to be a lot easier than just sitting there and trying to type everybody the exact or a different message at different times. You can't be the chameleon to blend into every conversation. You can't really have a manual DM approach to handle everything. So connection message, low pressure. So this is when, if I'm connecting with somebody and I just connect with them, I want to reach out, right? Not for a pitch, not for a recruit, not for a sell, just reaching out. Hey, Joe, I work with homeowners and professionals looking to optimize their cash flow and eliminate interest. Always open to connecting with sharp professionals that stay in touch. Really low pressure. You can even send a buffer before this, which is, hey, Joe, thanks for the connection. I really look forward to getting to know you and see what you post or something like that, or engage with your content. And then the low pressure. So we talked about that. And then the value. So after that low pressure, you can value follow up after the connection. Thanks for connecting. If you're ever interested in how we help people cancel interest and free up cash flow, I'd be happy to share a quick overview. Remember, that's non-threatening, right? It's just an offer. It's a value-based proposition. A voice or video DM. So if this is like a warm connection, hey, Joe, just want to introduce myself real quick. I help people create real financial relief using education and strategy, not products. Let me know if you'd be open to a 10-minute overview. And then the CTA, the discovery, would it make sense to do a quick call and see if this might help you or someone you serve? Notice you haven't mentioned any products, you haven't mentioned any services, you just mentioned education, information, things that you would think in a variety of different ways that might benefit them or somebody they know. That's how you want to introduce conversations, that's how you want to introduce messages, and that's how you want to continue your messages, more and more value, until they say stop or until they're ready to move on and take advantage of what you've offered them. One of the things that you guys can really learn to use LinkedIn for quality leads is learn how to use search. If you learn how to use search, it's not just, searching one thing. It can be things put together. It can be a lot of different ways that you can pinpoint people you're looking for. LinkedIn is the only social platform with a built-in search engine for prospecting. Going to leave that up for a minute because that's extremely valuable. How much are you paying for this? If you're not using Navigator or something like that, if you're just using the free paid version of LinkedIn, then you're not paying anything. So LinkedIn, once again, is the only social platform with a built-in search engine for prospecting. So what are your search tips? Well, use job titles plus keywords. So real estate agent plus homeowner. Wow. So that could be someone who could volley on both sides of the fence for you, right? With that keyword search right there, you are possibly identifying a partner, a client, or both, depending on how you can help them. Filter by location, industry, connections. Remember, someone's connected with you and they have a connection. That's a first connection. That's a second connection to you. It's a lot easier for somebody to connect with you if you have a lot of common connections. If you're trying to connect with third plus, that doesn't mean you have any common connections, and it's going to be a lot harder, and you'll probably get a lot more rejections. Instead of starting a search over and over and over again, if you have a good search that you want to revisit, save it and then revisit those leads weekly. And then the Boolean search example, this is kind of connecting things together, which is giving them alternatives, insurance agent or financial advisor, and helping clients. So connect the keywords together, find something that works for you. And when you find it, don't redo it every time. Don't reinvent the wheel. Save the search, go back, use your saved search, see if there's any new people that have popped up under those parameters. Bonus for this, and like once again, if you are new and you have no marketing budget or money to invest in your business, this is not for you, but use the organic free LinkedIn. But if you are to the point where you are using LinkedIn, you've done your profile, you put all this time and effort into it, it might be time to invest a little bit of money in the Sales Navigator, if available, to go deeper into filter targeting and lead tracking. Even if you don't have money for Sales Navigator, they always give you like a free trial. You can try it out for 30 days and then cancel before they charge you, and they'll probably in a couple of months try to get you to try it again for free for another month. These are going to be the metrics that matter, and it's different for everybody because your objection or objective or your goal for what you're trying to do may be different from mine, may be different from somebody else's. So A, you want to understand what metrics matter to you, and then B, how to track those. Track what you want to improve. These are the KPIs, the key performance indicators of your LinkedIn strategy. Everybody's got a different place they are in their business. Some people are trying to get traction. Some people are trying to get growth. Some people are trying to get scalability. It would be different KPIs for all of those people. So understand what's important to you and then how to track it. So these are the key metrics that you can look at, profile views. So if you're trying to, there is a kind of a benchmark. Once you have over 500 connections, unless somebody goes into your profile, they can't tell if you have 500, 5,000, 30,000. So if you're trying to work on getting people into your network, well, you may be trying to drive profile views. You may be trying to drive connection request acceptance rates. If you're trying to build your network, you may try to build some brand awareness through post engagement, likes, comments, and shares. You may be trying to get to the call to action, maybe a discovery call booked. Is that what you're trying to track? Is that one of your key metrics? Or maybe your key metrics right now, you're working on referrals or reposts from first degree connections. Whatever you're working on, understand what you're working on and then go after it and then track it and make sure that you're making headways and making improvements in the areas that you want. Once you've done that and you want to move on to some other metrics, that's fine. Don't throw all the metrics in one kind of hat and try to just jumble them up and see if I can do everything at one time, because nothing's going to work. So pinpoint a few things that will help you right now directly with your LinkedIn, and then go after those and track those appropriately. All you're doing in LinkedIn is you are creating opportunities to funnel into your GPS process integration. We already have a system on the back end for our clients, for our partners to follow. So all LinkedIn's going to do is generate things for your existing funnel. All these LinkedIn leads, they feed directly into what we call our GPS 1 through 4 model. And that's about the education, that's about the savings reports technology, that's about the continuing education, and that's about insurance illustrations, retirement, things like that. So here's how it works. Here's what you're essentially trying to do. The GPS 1, remember, is to connect, educate, discovery call. This is about getting education, information into in front of people to help them realize there are alternate paths. They can possibly have the opportunity to beat the bank. The banks are out there to make themselves rich, keep us poor. So the GPS 1 is designed to connect, educate, and discover. And that is never really, there's no prerequisites to that. There's no hoops or things to jump through. There's nothing to have prepared. Why is that? Because when you ask people to do stuff before they really know why to do it, the probability of them going to do it is keeps getting lower and lower and lower. So we don't ask them to do anything other than have general interest in learning how not to get ripped off by the banks. And then through that process, we can lead them to a GPS 2. Now they've got a reason to fill out a worksheet because they're going to get a personalized report. That education now is going to be streamlined into a custom savings report that tells them exactly what's possible. It's the blueprint for success. That's going to lead to a point of monetization for you, the technology sale. We have the setup phase, which I call the glue, which is just a little bit of onboarding and relationship deepening by teaching them how to use the program. Why is this important? Because you're not having them reach in their pocketbook or take out their debit card or credit card. You're giving some value here. You're creating the relationship, cementing the relationship, and that sets up the GPS 3 and 4, which is the second half of our two-step process to convert debt to wealth, which is teaching them about offset, banking, and that's going to lead to insurance illustration or illustrations and some final sales, which will all lead to referrals, and it keeps going on and on and on. So LinkedIn is designed to create something that's already, or that can be put into an already systematic framework that we know that creates happy clients, revenue, and income for us. LinkedIn is just the first domino. The rest of the system's already in place to handle the rest. So, hey, what do I do when I create a LinkedIn lead? Well, it's already all in place for you. If you don't know, get some training, talk to somebody who knows the system. Don't try to do things that you don't understand, because getting 100% of zero is different than getting 50% of the sale. If you're not equipped, if you don't feel comfortable doing some of these roles, then you should do a very limited role in the beginning. Let somebody else help you make some money and then grow into those other roles. So here's your action plan. This is really what I want you guys to take away from today's training and your assignment. Let's make this real. It's about learning, and it's about implementation of what you learn. If you just learn things and never implement it, it's almost like you never learned them at all, because you're going to forget things very quickly. You take the education and the learning of what you've taken in, you implement that. So here's your assignment for the week. Here's your homework. You want to post one carousel or authority post. Reach out to 10 new prospects with optimized messages. So sometimes in the past, if I'm just going through LinkedIn, I'll just connect. I get better connections if I send the LinkedIn connection request message, and it doesn't have to be the same thing. It also doesn't have to be different for everybody. Just something that reaches out and, hey, I saw your post on this, wanted to connect with you. That's another great way to find quality connections with you. If somebody posts something, you like it, reach out to them right then and there. Click on it, send them a message or an invite. Say, hey, I just saw your post on blah, blah, blah. Very informative. I'd like to add you to my network. So reach out to 10 new prospects with optimized messages. Engage, comment or react on 5 niche posts per day. It's not very hard. Just go in there. What you say is not going to be earth shattering or change the world for somebody, but it's about the consistency of the engagement. And then add one client result testimonial or authority PDF to your featured section. Remember, when somebody goes to your profile, that featured section is pinned. It's going to keep, that's the first stuff they're going to see once they go past the banner profile and on the about section. And then see if you guys can book at least one discovery call via LinkedIn this week. Take what you learn, implement it, make sure your profile looks good, start following some of these things. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you can start creating discovery calls from LinkedIn where you are not paying out of pocket from that, if your discovery call turns into a client acquisition, cost of that client acquisition in monetary terms was zero, cost you some time, can't beat that. If you can teach other people how to do it, your business will flourish. So final thoughts. Here's what we want to just take away from this today. LinkedIn is no longer optional, guys. So if you're sitting around, your LinkedIn profile is stale, or you haven't been really optimizing and using it like you should, it's your marketing is not done if it doesn't include LinkedIn. So it's no longer optional. It's one of the highest ROI tools that you have the opportunity to build your pipeline, position your brand, and consistently generate insurance and technology sales. Let's do this. Let's become more visible, more valuable, and more intentional with your presence. And this is, once again, this is what I'm going to leave you guys with, because it's not just about watching these videos or watching other videos or reading PDFs or reading guides about how to do something. It's about learning the information and then immediately implementing that, because as you learn stuff and you walk away from it, it starts to deteriorate. You lose more and more of that knowledge. If you implement it immediately, it's a lot easier than having to think about, oh, what did I learn last week about LinkedIn? How should I change my profile? Take it step by step, implement it, change what you need to, move on to other stuff. And then what you'll see over a 3 to 6 month period of time is you're starting knocking this stuff off the checklist. Checklist gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you have new problems, probably growth problems, which are going to be good to have.